You know who else is kicking ass?
Who
Let's see.
else?
I'm gonna do a really smooth segue here. Rachel Dolezal.
Oh no,
Did you even know that she was on OnlyFans?
I didn't.
I guess this is our theme for the show. Race figure Rachel Dolezal's nude OnlyFans photos leak on social media. Yikes! I mean, she has a decent body, I guess. Uh, I didn't know about this. So, notorious race faker Rachel Dolezal has yet another scandal on her hands. The ex NAACP chapter president, who was embroiled in scandal after being outed as falsely posing as a black woman, joined OnlyFans last year, sharing frisky photos for fans who forked out a fee. But on Tuesday, several nude photos from her page leaked on social media, sending the 44-year-old hurtling into the headlines once again. Dolezal's rep told TMZ that the raunchy images were authentic and said the mom of three. They always mention that she's a mom. You're like, well, go easy on her. She's a mom. Snapped the images to pay homage to Rihanna's Savage Fenty lingerie line. I mean, there's a way to do that. We're not naked. According to the rep, Dolezal got her hands on the latest batch of lingerie from the label and wanted to show it off for her subscribers. Indeed, one of the four leaked pictures shows her clad in one of the brand's bodysuits with her booty on display. The snap shows the Montana born woman sporting a previously unseen tattoo of the word justice across her butt cheek. No justice, no cheeks. That would have been a good tattoo. Oh, wow. Okay. The post has reached out to Dolezal's rep for comments about the leak and the tattoo. I wonder if this was a paid collab and these photos were meant to be leaked so that it would be advertising for this lingerie line.
Uh, I mean, I don't know. Um, but fun fact, because she was a part of the NAACP, right? Is
Yes.
it okay? Yeah. So that organization is a communist front, and Manning Johnson that I just talked about, he mentioned it in his book how it's run by white communists,
Oh,
and
wow.
it's basically just a way to sort of like get all the blacks on board. And it is, I have spoken about this before, the rise in people, mostly women, having OnlyFans accounts is very concerning to me because um sexually traumatized people are
Hmm.
also easier to manipulate,
Yes.
and they're very easy to manipulate. And if you got people going into OnlyFans with the thought of, I'm going to make a lot of money, I can be my own boss, those people aren't really going to consider the aftermath. What happens 10 years from now when I don't want to do this anymore and my past keeps haunting me? What happens if people in my family see it and I don't want them to see it? And people underestimate the psychological trauma that they could go to as a result of that stuff. And so
Wow.
not even, also to mention, you also have this, if you look around, there's this culture of sort of like this sexual liberation, screw whoever you want. I don't need to pull out the data on STDs in this country. It's pretty damn high, and mix that with high abortions, you have a really bad mess. So it's I'm all for people doing whatever the heck they want to do with their life, but that's not normal. Like, it's not normal for a big chunk of the population all of a sudden to be OnlyFans people or cam girls or whatever.
Yeah,
Like, it's
it's
just not normal.
very easy to be a prostitute, and it's glamorized. It's wrapped up in this package of, I mean, gosh, the money is great. You don't have to work for some lame job. You can just, send the type of photos you would send to your boyfriend, just put them on OnlyFans and you're going to get, jackpot validation, like Instagram, but probably even more likes and comments. I mean, I don't know if there's likes on OnlyFans. I've never been on it, but like just jackpot dopamine rush, all
Yeah.
the good feels, all the money. And but exactly, once it's out on the internet, you have zero control over who sees it. Uh and your future kids maybe sees it, your family, and it's just they've made it so easy, and they don't call it prostitution, but that's like, in a sense, it kind of is. And it's I also worry about, like maybe a guy who has a problem in his relationship, or like, him and his spouse have been like kind of mutually ignoring each other. And like the quick fix is like sub to some gal on OnlyFans, jerk off, chat with her, whatever. Like you get that hit. And it's like the procrastination. It's like another reason. Whereas, like, maybe if that wasn't an option to you, you would be like, I mean, of course, you're never going to get rid of porn ever. But
Yeah.
I think it's just such a massive distraction, and it can really ruin relationships if people are looking to avoid and just
Yeah. Well, you mentioned something that's it's there's been research that shows since the lockdown started, more predominantly men have been like it's just it's gone through the roof. There's so many guys now that are addicted to porn where they have to see some random person on the internet. And the other layer to this is that because I know a lot of people that have OnlyFans and do that as like a side hustle. But the other layer to this is these men who are watching these videos, yes, they could be someone who is having trouble in their own relationships and they want to break that habit. But then there is also a high likelihood of consuming porn of someone that is being sex trafficked. Like you don't know. How do you
Mhm.
know?
right. And it's the same thing, the point you brought up about there's a high percentage of people on OnlyFans that were like sexually traumatized, right? It's like I've talked to and interviewed so many adult film stars, and it's undeniable how many of them have been molested or had some sort of like sexual trauma. And there's also a large percentage of um folks who wind up, trying to transition or wrapped up in like the trans mess, who have also been like sexually abused. And they think they want to transition, but it's really just like a deep hatred of their bodies and a deep hurt of the pain and suffering. It's the same reason why like some people will gain a ton of weight after they get molested. It's like they're literally physically protecting themselves from anybody going near them again. And same thing, it's like we're ignoring the root issues here and covering them up with like, all right, oh, big pharma can swoop in and take advantage. Like, we'll make you a customer for life. We'll convince you that you need these very, profitable surgeries. Like, great for us. We can make all this money. And like, they don't give a fuck if it fixes you, right? Or you wind up being more suicidal than you were before.
Yeah.
And it's just, everywhere I look, I see corporations taking advantage of people's weak moments or mental health issues.
Yeah.
And it's like once you start to see it, you're like, "Oh, I see it everywhere." And did you know for
Everywhere.
9.90 a month, 9.99 a month, fans can access Rachel Dolezal's OnlyFans.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm all set with that.
She vowed to upload at least 3 times a week, claiming that. And that's the thing too, is like, if that's what I worry about, like single women, like trying to meet men and also
Yeah.
doing OnlyFans. The money is so great, I'm sure, but like it becomes like a true full-time job. And it's like this is time taken away from like you really trying to get out there and like meet a partner. And if you're like spending all your emotional dollars on like your subscribers, you can't tell me that's not going to have an effect on you trying to like how many emotional dollars are you going to have left for like a potential partner, or like a man that you actually could fall
Yeah.
in love with.
Not even that too. I mean, that's a good point, but you also got you got to factor in that you're also devaluing yourself for someone that you can potentially be with. And there's data on that. Like not I haven't checked specifically with like the correlation of women that have OnlyFans and how they deal with that in new relationships, but just women in particular who have like they call it a high body count and sleep with lots of people. Their likelihood of them settling down with someone decreases as they get older for several reasons. We can probably imagine some of the reasons, but uh, yeah, a lot of guys, especially now, I'm noticing a lot more men be encouraged to be more manly and masculine and not these beta males as they call them. Um, and a lot of them don't want women that are half naked online. They
Mhm.
just don't want that.
Yeah, and I read that, like, and it's interesting because like you never get this information like when I was like young in my 20s and like you think like, "Oh, right, this is how I keep myself safe from heartbreak is by hookup culture," right? It's kind of pitched to you like this is the modern way to live your life. Like you can pay for your own stuff, hook up with whoever, none of this will affect you. And then I've read so much that like no, like the higher your body count is, like it can actually affect your ability to like connect with a guy. And
Yeah.
like you may have a great guy in front of you and you might not know, you might not feel a deep connection because
Yeah.
you
It's
spent yourself. It's crazy.
yeah, and I heard that I've heard that throughout my life with the argument about porn and guys is like they get this skewed perception about what it means to like be intimate with a woman, but on the other side of it, you have the women who get this skewed perception of what uh what being wanted entails, or what they see as valuable within themselves. Like I see so many cringe TikTok videos of girls that are like they're twerking, and I saw one that she was like twerking and she looked at the camera, she was just like, I know you want this. I'm like, ew, like who gave you that impression? You just making
Yeah.
things up.
Yeah. Why how did you get so confident?
Yes, that's what I'm getting at. Like I just don't understand.
Yeah, it's like who is best suited to do OnlyFans? It's like, all right, if you're a single woman looking for a guy, like, okay, that's gonna take away time and like your energy. Okay, well, what if you're in a relationship? Well, how is that not gonna be a problem in your relationship? You know what I mean? Like if you're getting all your validation from like your customers, then like what is your man like what does he have to do? Like, does he have to step it up even more? Is there like weird competition now? It's like are your customers going to be more charming than your actual man? So like that's could be a
Mm,
problem. And then so what if you're married? Okay, what if you have kids? Like all right, same thing. Like
yeah.
it's you're commodifying your emotional connections with people. You're literally putting a price on having a relationship with you. Even if you tell yourself, "Oh, it's just physical, it's just pictures." It's like a big part of the OnlyFans thing is the messaging and the personal connection, which I know a lot of girls will outsource. Like they'll have, Phil in India actually responding to your messages because they'll get inundated. But then I feel bad for guys too because they think they're actually talking with like Lana Rhodes or who I don't think she's on OnlyFans, but like whatever, their favorite porn star or something. And it's like,
Hmm.
no, you're talking to a dude who's getting
That's
paid $20 an hour.
that's what you get for even using these sites anyway. You get to talk with Ben.
I just think we're gonna see. I feel like there's gonna be books about this in like the next 10 years or so, like the negative effects of OnlyFans.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The other thing I forgot to mention too with the social sexual revolution thing is because it's so more common to see, like I cannot open up Twitter or Instagram in public without seeing booty cheeks on my screen. So uh how are most kids connected? Social media. So they're gonna see booty cheeks on their screen.
Oof.
And when I was in high school, I already knew kids that were freshman year, even before that, junior high, that were pregnant. So sex is already being introduced like 15, 20 years ago. I
Earlier than
forgot.
your little brain can, like, handle what's
Yeah.
actually happening. Oh god, I was
Yeah.
shopping the other day, like, in a physical store, which is rare.
Oh.
But I was, like, in this store shopping, and I heard the lady who worked there talking to another lady who worked there. She was like, "Oh my god, my 15-year-old daughter, there's a guy that likes her in her school, also 15, sending her pictures of boobs, just like I guess random internet boobs, in the hopes that like she would then respond with a picture of her own boobs." And I'm like, that's horrible. Like, imagine being a 15-year-old girl and you're like, oh, you're being sent someone else's boobs. Meanwhile, like yours may not even be have come in yet, you know?
Yeah. That's weird.
And like
Yeah,
it's
that's weird.
oof, I worry that it's like teaching our kids like there's gonna be people with very twisted sense of how relationships should go
Yeah,
and how they should express themselves in those relationships.
absolutely. I totally believe it.
I was like, that sounds messy. But again, like, yeah, every generation has its challenges.
Yeah, I think our generation is the most challenged mentally.
Yeah, for sure. Love you guys. Thank you for the chats. Thank you for the comments. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye. Bye. All right. Love you guys. God, I don't even want to leave. This candle smells so good. I don't want to leave. All right. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye. Love you all. Join the Discord. Feet. Love you all. Wow. You guys are awesome. Come and get it. Bye, guys. Bye. Now I'm really leaving. Love you. Bye.